Hello, my name is Karina and this is my perfume map. Today I'm going to revisit all of my Middle Eastern scents. I made a video about a year ago about my Middle Eastern scents, and I realized after I made it that I had forgotten a couple that I already had in my collection, so I included those here today. And then there's a few new ones, and this is a requested video. Somebody asked me if I could do separate videos talking about Middle Eastern, Bath and Body Works, and indie fragrances. So I'm going to try to do that. Now, if you've seen a lot of my videos, you might know that I don't have like a ton of luck with Middle Eastern fragrances. I want to say of all of these here, there's maybe 5 that like I really like, and there's a few that I really don't like. But overall, in general, I don't find myself wearing these a ton, just because I think there's other categories that just seem to work better for me. Now, I know with Middle Eastern fragrances, a lot of people like them because they're pretty quick to put out a comparable perfume to like a new release. So if like Kayali puts something out, then they might put then you might be able to find it in a Middle Eastern scent almost at the same time. So they do a really good job that way. I think one of the reasons why I don't dive that deep into them is because I can't. Like, a lot of them you can't find perfumers. You can't really like learn anything about like how it's made or who's making it or like what the like vision is with the company. I don't know. And even with Lattafa, Lattafa's website, I haven't looked at it recently, but I know that like it looked one way and then it seemed like a bunch of the images were gone. Like, for example, when the Yaris first came out, I went to the Lattafa website and looked at it. I wish I had a screenshot because this kind of sounds unbelievable, but I'm being honest with you, okay? So I went to Lattafa's website and they had all the Yara perfumes at the time. There was the orange one, the white one, and the pink one, and they were in their kids section. It was like, it looked like Justice for Her, you know, Justice, that store that we used to have here in the US. It was like for tweens. And that's where they had all the Yara perfumes. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting because nobody was talking about that. But it was not long after that disappeared. I think because they realized that like that's not who was buying them. It was like adults. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting. You just can't learn that much. It's like the big thrill about learning about these perfumes is like, what is it a good alternative for? But anyway, I will show you everything I have and I'll just talk about it. I also I have some samples here of Amouage because Amouage is also made in the Middle East. I think it says Oman. Yeah, made in Oman. So we'll talk about these first. And these are the most expensive. We'll kind of go expensive to least expensive is my plan. So this is Amouage guidance. I bought some samples. I have like a person on eBay I like to buy samples from. I think I paid $18 for two 2 mLs. They're pretty fat samples. This will last me forever because this is a very, very, very strong fragrance. In fact, I have to keep this on its own, even in the box, because it was reeking up my little sample box I have back there. So Amouage guidance was created by Quentin Biche. I'm tempted to not even spray this, but I just feel like I need to do it for just the realness of this video. Okay. Ooh. One spray of this will last all darn day. I'm not really a fan of it. I'll tell you what it smells like to me. It smells sort of like, okay, the base of it smells sort of like a Glossier You type of fragrance, like a musky, like a modern kind of synthetic musky smell that I don't mind that. And then the top notes are like nutty, hazelnutty, like a mealy nutty smell with some florals and something fruity, but very nondescript. And I think it says it has pear. This does not smell like good to me. It doesn't smell like bad, but it also doesn't smell good. And it's super strong. It lasts all day and it projects like crazy. I mean, I don't know what's in here that makes it like that, but and nobody in my house likes it. I remember one morning I tried it like early in the morning, like 6:30, and my son was like getting ready for school at like 7. And he's like, is that your perfume? And I was like, what does it smell like? And he's like, like rotten coconut or something. And I was like, yeah, it is. So I don't know. I would never recommend this one. This isn't my type of fragrance, but there are people that will say that it's their favorite, that it gets them compliments, and I don't know. It just doesn't smell that good to me, and it's really, really strong. All right, the next one is Sunshine Woman, and I'll try to put her name on the screen. I forget who it was that said like this was one of their favorites, so I really wanted to try it. I got the samples at the same place. I think I got 3 of them for 20 or something. Maybe 24. 3 for 24. This one is like a floral tobacco. I should have written down the perfumer. I didn't. So you can find perfumers for Amouage, but that's about it as far as what I have here. This is interesting. It's like a citrusy floral tobacco. Kind of iris. Like I think I smell iris in here. Yeah, I mean, it smells very modern. It kind of reminds me of like purple patchouli Tom Ford or like a something like that. So that's my second Amouage. And then my third Amouage, which is my favorite of what I've tried, definitely is Reflection Man. And yes, it's a men's cologne. I think there was a Reflection Women. I've never tried it. This one, Reflection Man, it reminds me of like Diptyque L'Eau Papier, but with rosemary. It's got it's got like this really good earthy laundry smell to it. The one thing I'll say about this, because I would consider buying a bottle, but I have a $2.50 perfume oil dupe of this that I bought at the Scent For You, and they're indistinguishable. I mean, so I think that this one I would buy just a perfume oil because I can't tell the difference. Maybe one day I will buy this if I see it at a good price, because I do think it's really good. And I do want to, like, I do feel like some like desire to support the actual perfume if I think it's like, oh, what's the word? Like if I think it's like groundbreaking to me. And Amouage Reflection Man, I mean, if you're a woman who likes like laundry scents, or you're not afraid of slightly masculine, maybe earthy scents, I think this is brilliant. This is awesome. And I think anybody would smell really good wearing this. Again, it's super strong. It lasts all day, but it's not that, it doesn't have like a oud thing or a tobacco thing that a lot of Amouage have. Okay. So here's one that I had before when I made my video, but I know I forgot to include it. This is Bodyall Oud Amethyst, and this is a rose oud scent. I've talked about it in other videos, but I forgot to do it in my Middle Eastern video. So I like this, but it definitely has oud. And here's the thing, a lot of these Middle Eastern scents will smell like something familiar plus oud. And this is how I think about oud. Oud is not a scent that we had in my house growing up, but I had neighbors whose houses smelled like this. So I kind of think of oud as almost like a Middle Eastern potpourri smell, and I hope that's not at all offensive, but I think of it as like something that I had friends whose maybe cars smelled like this, their houses smelled like this, maybe there was incense burning like this, or just some kind of laundry, something going on that kind of smelled oudy to me. So I find it comforting in just kind of a memories way. But I think for me, like a potpourri scent is more like, it would be more like normal to me to put like, you know, all these perfumes with like a note of potpourri in the back. That would be more comforting to me than oud. This one also is very strong. Like one spray and I think you're good. And it's another one that like I've worn it to pick my husband up, and he literally said like, what is that stench when he got in the car? So I don't feel confident like wearing a perfume that I know kind of smells like a stench to some people. And I think, you know, if I have an issue with Middle Eastern scents, that's what my issue is I think to some people they smell terrible. But here's one that I think smells amazing. This is The Fragrance World Barrakat Satin Oud. I bought this because I really wanted to buy MFK's Oud Satin Mood. And this is a very good alternative. And it's regularly on Amazon for under $20. This is also a rose oud, but it's way more mellow. It's more, I always say it reminds me of the peculiar purple pie man of Porcupine Peak. There's something like berry-like about it, like berry and like something kind of crusty and pastry-like, but also like slightly oudy and rosy. And I think there's like a few different kind of roses. And I still have a little bit, I'm going to spray it just for you, of an actual Oud Satin Mood sample. So you can get, I don't know how much it is now, I haven't looked, but it used to be 4 samples of MFK fragrances in these 2 mLs, and they come completely full. Directly from MFK was $25, and that would include a $25 credit if you wanted to buy something in the future. And I think it's a good deal for those fragrances, 4 for $25, even though it's only 8 mils. But you get to smell the real thing. These are so close that it's, there's something slightly more like irisy, I think, in the MFK one. And I think iris is expensive, so that would make sense. Yeah, definitely something that's giving me like iris. It's like a little bit less, like I'm getting less of like that bakery note, but the price difference is so insane that I would still give it to this one because it's like $17. If I one day might end up with a bottle of Oud Satin Mood. The thing about MFK is Baccarat Rouge is really more of a safe bottle buy to me than Oud Satin Mood, because I think you can wear Baccarat Rouge all the time, and I don't really feel that way about this one. It smells more wintry, it's more of a serious scent. The next one I have is Ragbag Wood Intense, and there's a few different Ragbag. There's like just regular Ragbag. Anyway, this one gets compared to By the Fireplace by what is it, Maison Margiela. I like this fragrance, but I also think it's very strong. It's got a very strong kind of licoricey woody note with marshmallow and burnt sugar and oud and probably some florals, but it's mostly like a burnt sugar licorice kind of smell. It's kind of similar in a way to Aquilina Pink Sugar, but more like darker, like black peppery. I like it, but it is like one spray. Don't wear more than that. I remember one time my husband wore it, and he wore like 5 sprays because that's what he always does. And he was sitting in like a hot car while I ran into a store. When I came back, I was kind of like, ugh, like that's kind of intense, you know, like just baking in a hot car. But I think it's really good. The next one I have is Nasheet, and this is supposed to be an alternative to Nishane Ani. The other thing about Middle Eastern fragrances is they do seem to like do, like, you can find dupes for like Perfumes de Marly, Kayali, Nishane, but I don't find a lot of dupes for like Guerlain, Chanel, that kind of thing. Let me know if you know some, because I'll check them out. Okay, so this is like a lemon, vanilla, woody smell, but the lemon is very, very like kind of like a household cleaner type of lemon. It's also very green. There's like something very green in here. I like this in the dry down. It's just not, this isn't like my type of fragrance. And all I can say, that's all I can really say. It's just, I don't really wear these kind of really thick, I don't know, like they're kind of thick and flat. I like my fragrances like, I like aldehydes, I like florals, I like tartness. This has tartness, but it's not what I'm talking about. I like kind of tart floral smells. So Nishane Ani, comparable Nasheet. You might, if you want like a lemon kind of cake, woody, green scent, I think you might be into it. Okay, now I will show you, oh, okay. This is Lattafa. This is one of the, it's called I Am White Poudree. It's one of the Anna Abieda fragrances. I think, I don't know, I probably said that really wrong, but yeah, I Am White. I don't know what that means, if it's just like a powdery scent, but so this one is poudree, but it's not baby powder. It smells like a sweet, almost sugary powder. It's interesting. I want to say it's interesting. I don't reach for it, but it smells, it's got like a Halloween candy wrapper vibe. And one time when I wore this, my son was like, oh my gosh, that smells so good. What is that? And he wanted to wear it. So it's a good fragrance if you like sweet, powdery scents, but it's not baby powder. It's just powder. It's like a kind of a vanilla scented powdery scent. I think it's interesting. Maybe I'll try to wear this more. So I don't do perfume trays, but these videos kind of are my perfume tray because I will set this out and then these will be sitting right here until I make my next video. So I'll start wearing these more. In fact, I was thinking I should do like a greatest hits because I usually will find something on here that I maybe wasn't really paying attention to before I did the video. And then I'll wear it like a few times before I make my next video. Yeah, so you can kind of think of this as a tray. Then we have Khamrah by Lattafa. This is probably, I want to say this has got to be like the most popular Lattafa scent. All of the Khamrahs, these were a big hit and they were really expensive for a while when they came out, but I was able to get this one for $21 a couple of years ago. You know what? It's really good. It is. It's very holiday smelling. It's very like Thanksgiving, Christmassy, but it's great. It has like a fruity, juicy, spicy, woody. It's a really good fragrance. They did a good job with this one. It smells the most perfumey to me of all of the other ones. All of the other ones are so like woody and flat. It just doesn't have like Western perfume notes, but this one, I mean, I feel like it's like the best of both worlds because it does have like dates and spices, but it also just has something light and pretty and effervescent. This is a good fragrance, especially if you can get it for like under $30. You can't really go wrong with it. And a lot of people were hoping this would be a dupe for Angel Share. Angel Share is way more sugary sweet than Khamrah. Khamrah's sweet too, but it's different. It's like a spicy, sugary sweet. The next one I have is Oud 24 Hours, and this is Ardal Zafran, I believe. And this is a 50 ml. I don't know if this is like an EDT. There's another bottle. You can get like a 100 ml bottle that's opaque. This one definitely has a Black Orchid by Tom Ford vibe, but it's more aquatic. It has like a very noticeable aquatic note and less of a truffle note that you get in Black Orchid. I paid $7.99 for this, and it's well worth that. This is pretty. This is unisex. I like to try to get my husband to wear it. I feel like it's not really his thing. He tends to like kind of feminine fragrances. I don't know if you've noticed that when I talk about what he wears, but he definitely, like, he likes kind of girly scents to wear himself. And he's like a big bearded dude, so it's just kind of like, I think some people like kind of a juxtaposition, you know? Is that the right word? I think it is. Yeah, so this is similar to Black Orchid, which I am going to buy at some point. I always sniff it in Sephora. This is a better smell-alike though. This Impressive Bliss. If you want to get a perfume oil, she does the best. You can buy them on eBay. She gives you a little discount if you buy them directly from her site using PayPal, and she's also on Facebook. And I've only bought one that was yucky, and I just didn't like the scent. It was like a saffron scent. But this Oh, it's so good. It's not as bright as the Oud 24 Hours. It doesn't have like a strong aquatic. It smells like iris, patchouli, like a really chalky amber, and chocolate and truffle, like mushroom. It's amazing. People either love or hate Black Orchid. A lot of people think it's just like smells like a stanky old lady, which that's fine. Fine with me. The next one I have is one that I don't know if you can still get. This is Rich Lady by Amouage, which is a Lattafa. It says Lattafa on here somewhere. And this is a Paco Rabanne Lady Million smell-alike. And you know, I recently bought a fake off Shop Goodwill of Lady Million. And this one smells better. Yeah, this is like a raspberry, patchouli, kind of musky. Even smells a little oudy, but it's like a really good perfumey raspberry scent. And it's soapy. It's very soapy smelling to me. So yeah, I like that. If you can find this one for a good deal, it's worth it. If you like Lady Million or something like that. Okay, this was probably my first absolute blind buy fail from Lattafa. This is Awaan, and I bought it because I was influenced to get it on YouTube, and it's just not for me. This also is the perfume I use to talk about maceration and how that's not the right word. And I just want to say a lot of people are making the same video now, like 2 years later, or a year later, I should say. And I just want to say I told you, like, it's not maceration. That happens when they make perfume. I don't even think this is maturing. What I think is happening is you smell it once, blind, and you're like, that's not what I was expecting. But the next time you smell it 2 weeks later, you're like, I know what it smells like. Let me smell it again. And then you pick up on the notes because now you're not smelling it blind. Okay, so this is, a lot of people compare this one to L'Entrée, so I'm going to compare right now. And I only have a sample. I bought like a set of samples for Givenchy L'Entrée, which is the far superior scent. Because L'Entrée smells light and airy and tuberosy and patchouli and orange blossom. It's by Dominique Ropion. It's a masterpiece, whereas this one smells heavy. There's like a heavy, chewy patchouli. There's something honey-like, orange blossomy. And there's something in here that gives me like heavy-duty cleaner. A lot of Lattafa fragrances have that to me. It might just be like my own personal experience, but I've heard other people say it, where it smells like an industrial disinfectant or like an industrial like pest spray. If you didn't grow up smelling that, you might not think that. But this one has it. I have over the years come to like it a little bit more. I think it has some good qualities. I think the dry down is pretty nice, but it never has that lightness that I like in perfume that L'Entrée has. It just doesn't ever get there, so I just don't reach for it, where I will probably buy a bottle of L'Entrée at some point, you know, especially if I can find one at Shop Goodwill, then I will definitely throw my bid in it. Yeah, it's just, you can't even, there's no denying. One has some kind of heavy something, and L'Entrée has something that just smells like a beautiful woman who's wearing like a perfect perfume. It smells expensive. All right, okay, just get ready. I do not like this perfume, so if this is your favorite, you might not want to hear what I have to say. This is Ajwad by Lattafa. It's very popular. I smell this one out in the world. And the reason why I know that it's this has an unmistakable metallic dumpster smell to me. There's also rose. It might be the rose that they use with Lattafa that smells metallic. I don't know what it is, but it smells like a dumpster with some kind of disinfectant in it. and then like a fruity, kind of mango-y, rosy smell. If I wear one spray of this on my wrist, I can handle it, but it doesn't smell good to me. And I'm not trying to be mean, and I would never say anything to somebody in public, but when I smell this on other people, I'm like, ugh, bleh. And that's just the way it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I don't like your perfume. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean like you made a bad choice. It just means that I don't like this perfume, and I can smell it in public. It gets compared to Montal Intense Cafe. And I have to say, like, I totally see the comparison, but Intense Cafe is way better. Way better. It just doesn't have that metallic smell. And some people don't pick up on the metallic smell. Again, we all have different noses, so I'm like hyper focused on it. I have tried to ignore it. I've tried to smell it over and over. I've tried to just wear it to the dry down. It's like, it's not there, ooh, right at the end. It's like it hits me in the nose right at the end. There's just that little, oh, it smells good. Nope, dumpster. And, you know, I'll be honest with you. I have gone dumpster diving a lot. One year, I went dumpster diving like every night, like over the summer. And I know what a dumpster smells like. And it's probably my own fault that I think it smells like a dumpster. So, you know, yeah, you might not get that. This is Coastal Perfume. This is the newest Middle Eastern to my collection. And this is supposed to be a smell like for Lacoste Perfume by Lacoste. What it smells like to me is like a kind of a Glossier U type of fragrance. Like Glossier U and a perfume. I thought after I talked about this one the other day, I wore it a couple times and I'm like, oh, this kind of smells like Forever Elizabeth, which I think is kind of an outlier in the Elizabeth Taylor collection. Yeah, it does. It does smell like Forever Elizabeth. I think Coastal Perfume is less expensive, and Forever Elizabeth is got more of a like a musky floral kind of, you smell like kind of a creamy floral, but it's a very similar musk. In fact, I would say that Forever Elizabeth might even be comparable to Glossier U, that you could get way cheaper. It's still like $17 for a 100 ml. Yeah, they're very similar, and I like Coastal Perfume. I like the more Western style Middle Eastern scents, and my husband compliments me when I wear this one. It smells really good. And it was I got it for like $14.99 on FragranceNet not too long ago. Here's another one that I've had, and I know I forgot to talk about it when I did my first Middle Eastern scent video. You know what's funny is I'm not going to Nosmic to these either, because I think they're so strong. Usually if I do this many perfumes, I burn out. This is good. This is better than, I recently bought a travel of Billie Eilish. I think this is better. I do. It's like a cocoa, vanilla, musk, and it smells really nice. Again, it's not like a perfumey, it's not like, you know, fancy. It just smells like a nice kind of chocolatey, marshmallowy scent. Not very strong, but it's fun. And, you know, I've actually gone through a fair amount of that. So, and that's about, I think it's like $12 to $15 on Amazon. And then I have Bright Peach, another Maison Alhambra. I think this is great. My family members don't agree. In fact, my son one time asked me, like, what smells so dirty? Is that your perfume? And he was like, oh, that doesn't smell good. Peach can smell weird. Peach can smell kind of armpity or peepy, and this is peach and patchouli. But I think this smells fantastic. I think this smells natural. I love the patchouli in here. It has like, the dry down is like kind of a fruity, cinnamony, vanilla-y smell, but the patchouli is really strong at first. And I think this is fantastic. I think this is still available. They might have changed the name. They might have slightly changed the bottles just to not be like such an obvious Tom Ford smell like. And I have compared this to Tom Ford Bitter Peach, and it's pretty good. It's really pretty good. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorites. And I'll try to do a little ranking at the end. And these ones I've had for a long time. These are actually the first Middle Eastern fragrance I bought, and I forgot to talk about them. So these are Al-Rehab oils. This is Dalal. And I think they sell these in bottles like this too. But I just have these roll-ons. This one is a like musky kind of caramel floral musk kind of I like this. This reminds me of the 90s though. This reminds me of something that I would have bought in the 90s and loved it. It kind of just has that like 90s grunge bohemian record store caramel floral thing to me. It's pretty. I should probably wear this more. It's not exactly my taste today, but I still really like it, and I think it's good. The next one is, this one's probably my favorite of the ones I have. This is Bakhoor, and it smells like those incense bricks that you put on like a warmer. It's got like an orange floral soapy. It's orange floral and soapy. I think it's oudy, but I like this kind of orangey oud smell in this oil. It's pretty. And yeah, I think I bought these for $4. I think it was like 4 for $16 on eBay. But this is really good. And then there is this one's called Fantastic. This is a Britney Spears Fantasy smell like, and it smells a lot like Britney Spears Fantasy. It's just, you know, when you have an oil, they aren't as bright smelling. But this is really good. I mean, if you were traveling or something and you like fantasy, and you could put this in your purse rather than carry around that big, you know, bejeweled bottle. Yeah, I like it. And then this one is probably my least favorite. It's called Tooty Musk. And besides the name being kind of lame, in my opinion, it is a raspberry scent. And I have been on the hunt for years to find. I used to buy this raspberry oil at like a little knickknack shop in Bend, Oregon, like in the 90s. And it was like, it kind of smelled like raspberry molasses. I don't know. It was like the greatest oil ever. And I've never found anything like it again. And so my quest continues to find the world's greatest raspberry oil. But yeah, it's raspberry if you like sweet raspberry. That is everything that I have. So as far as my favorites, I will exclude Khamrah Amouage because I already said my favorite is Reflection Man. I think that Barrakat Satin Oud is worth your time. I think that Oud 24 Hours is good if you like Black Orchid type of scents. Khamrah, I think it's great. I think they're coming out with another one. Bright Peach is good if you're adventurous, if you like a little bit of a skanky, peachy smell. Coastal Perfume is a really good option if you like the Your Skin But Better that are very modern, kind of these modern, it kind of smells like Swedish fish. If you like kind of that modern musk that kind of smells like gummies or Swedish fish, I think this has that. It's not quite that obnoxious because it's kind of perfumey, but yeah, this is really good. Yeah, so Barrakat, Coastal, Bright Peach, Khamrah, those are the ones that I like. All the rest of them, I'm either kind of like can take them or leave them, or I think that Awaan and Ajwad are for the, you have to love Middle Eastern DNA, I think, to like these. Yeah, that's what I think. I hope this video is helpful to you. Please do not feel offended if you love them. Like I said, it's just not my type. And, you know, I'm sure I have fragrances that are not your type too. Like, I like vintage, you know, musky, civety 70s scents. I like a lot of oak moss. But when I'm looking for inexpensive perfumes, have had way better luck with Bath and Body Works, indie fragrances, and celebrity fragrances. I would put those all above looking at Middle Eastern fragrances for like a good deal. That's just for me. That's the way it's been for me. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. Subscribe.